In this video, I'd like to show you how one can use FirstClass as a LaunchPad to access not only the content on your own FirstClass server, but on other systems as well. The idea is that one can use FirstClass as a starting point for all content available to the organization. Since FirstClass user accounts are password protected and the user can belong to different groups, we can present content and links to users in a secure manner, knowing that the person will see only content that is specifically allowed to either the user or for the group to which he belongs. The other benefit of FirstClass is that you too can become the content provider for other portals, where you can make that content available to other unauthenticated users if you so choose. I've mashed up a demo account here on my demo server to demonstrate what I'm referring to. I'm logged in as Colin Lynch here, and I can see he has access to all sorts of FirstClass content. The area that I'm most interested in is this one, which is the District Info portal. The content is available only to staff and not students. When I open the container, I see a graphical representation of what is available. Some of the content is internal documents, other content is other containers that take the user to other areas within the FirstClass system, and there are also some external links that branch the user off to systems outside of FirstClass in a number of different ways that I will demonstrate. First, let's look at how the internal content is presented. Each of the triangles within the circle is actually a document. A single click opens that document. Inside this document we have some text and links to other content. For example, a link here will present the technology purchasing policies. This link here presents the IT support services chart. These are simply just documents that are stored within a folder that is hidden from direct view and is only accessible through the links within the documents. If we open the governance link, it presents us with content related to the Board of School Trustees. Clicking on the Board Agendas and Minutes presents me with the Board Agenda Minutes for the school district. Clicking on Board Policies presents me with a link to all of the district policies. These board policies are just FirstClass documents, but they could be PDFs or Word documents, and one can use the FirstClass search mechanism for index searches to locate content within all of the folders within. For example, doing a search on weapons immediately presents me with the policies related to weapons. Since this is public information, the district has decided to make the same content available on their website. Visitors to the site can perform the same searches as one would do if they were logged in and authenticated on FirstClass. In fact, you can present a more limited view on the web search as well for your public. You can choose what you want to be able to present to the public. Now, one last example of FirstClass content and the way that you can present information can be found inside the District Directories and Calendars and Rooms container. Here we see a number of containers, one of which is the contacts list. When I open this conference, I see what looks like a spreadsheet of information, and the information can be grouped as we see here on the program column. It can be sorted by clicking on one of the column headers, and you can use the filter field to filter and limit your view. The information presented in this list is coming from a custom document that was created, and the fields within the document are the same fields that are shown in the list view. I've only touched on the possibilities here, but there are very practical and efficient uses for using FirstClass as your content generator and provider. Now let's look at how we can link to external content. The simplest way is by creating a link to important websites, like the Ministry of Education. We do this as a bookmark so that when the user clicks on the bookmark, it opens up and takes you to that website. Depending on the content provider, it may also be possible to pass credentials through to the website. This may not be the most secure, however, as the credentials might be passed as clear text in the link. It may be possible, however, for intranets to accomplish this in a secure manner. FirstClass works well with Active Directory and directory services, using the same login credentials for all corporate databases and access. For example, in this case here, I'm passing my own credentials through to our corporate website and giving me access to the content that is specific to me without my having to re-enter a user ID and password. And in the final example, I'm going to show you how you can use FirstClass application services to provide access to external corporate databases that may be behind a firewall. If an account on the database is authenticated by your FirstClass server, you can create applications that can provide you with access to content on those databases and can also perform queries that are specific to the user who is logged in to FirstClass. For example, this application queries the HR database on a SQL server. We can select a site, such as Boyd Secondary, and it immediately presents me with the staff list. We can further limit our query by looking specifically for a specific job classification. If I were the administrator of this school, we can build in security so that if I double-click on any one of the line items, it would show me more information about that particular staff member. This application simply passes through the employee ID of the user who is logged into FirstClass and prevents view-only access of the user's information. Each individual launching that application would only see information about themselves. And finally, that same database server has its own web front end. So we built an application that will connect us directly to that server, but it does require secondary authentication as this system is not on a single sign-on. However, what we have built into here is the ability to reveal the password if you forget it. Clicking on Reveal reveals another field which now requires me to authenticate again against FirstClass, and by entering my FirstClass password, it will reveal the password on that secondary server. So FirstClass is well suited as a portal or LaunchPad to other sorts of information, both internal and external to the FirstClass system.